Hi everyone, so I'm late, but as you can see, I have a new setup. Now, it's not finished by any means. I've got to mess with the settings more and the lighting. I'm not happy with the lighting, the way the lighting is. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping I'm live. Hi Keith, hi John. Yeah, so as you can see, it's not perfect. But I've got to mess with the settings more, and I've got to mess with the light. It's the lighting more than anything. But yeah, green screen, John. I've basically I've had to rearrange my entire flat to do everything. There's like a massive 5 by 3 meter green screen behind me now. Um, as you can see, my hands. It's not right. But I've been messing about for about 3 days. Now, the reason why I want to do this is, of course, because it does look actually much better than it has done for a while, actually. Almost as orange as Trump. Yeah, I've got to mess about with the settings, everybody, but this is, it's going to make things easier. For instance, I can change that background just at a switch of a button now, and obviously can I have my things here. When I change it, it messes about with the settings. So I've got to. It's lighting more than anything that I've got to change. But that background, I can change it to anything. So, for instance, we're 2 days before Christmas now, aren't we? So, let's have a bit of a Christmas festive. Happy Christmas, everybody. What do you think, everyone? Cool setup, says Random Gamers. Very swish. Not. Oh well, you all seem to like it. No, I haven't been removed at all, David. I've been spending a few days, as you can see, just trying to set up and make the presentation better. Not just the presentation, but also the volume, and hopefully my voice should be very crisp now. Sounds good, says Steve Richter. Looks great, just slightly purple. Yeah, I've got to mess with the settings. Like I say, I'm not happy with the way it sort of filters around me. Um, and it's an art. You have to really mess with the settings. I've got two different color corrections in there. I've probably got to add something called an LUT, whatever that is. So, Merry Christmas to you as well, Darwin. It's trippy. It is, isn't it? I can put anything I want there. It's just turn the desktop audio out. It's awesome. It really is. I can do anything I want. Now for a new haircut. I only had one a week ago. So yeah, it's not perfect yet, but I will get it perfect. There's an art to it. There's a lot of little finicky settings you have to mess with, but hopefully, yeah, this is the way I'm going to be doing things going forward. Let's change this background. Let's put that one on. I like that. There you go. So what do you think? It's a bit, it messes about a little bit when I change, but like I say, I've got to mess with the settings and hopefully. Looks great, but a bit of bleeding and you need better lighting on you. Yeah, it's just the lighting now. I've got 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 lights in here altogether, but it's just about putting them in the right position. And obviously, I mean, this background now looks great, obviously, but it messes up the things on the foreground. Let me just see if I can. I should be able to sort that out while I'm actually live. So you sort one thing out and then this starts. It's really, it's a right pain, it is. Oh well, I'll have to do like that for start. Yeah. You sort one thing out and another area pops up because you've got to get the lighting on the background absolutely perfect. What I need really is like a 4-inch LED floodlight or something like that to hook from the ceiling and have it illuminate all in one shade, like, so there's no, you can't, when you're doing it like this, I've sort of had to move about 6 feet forward, so you can't have any shadows on it at all. It's it's a nightmare. So my apologies. I haven't got any news stories or anything like that I want to do. See, it's all messing up again now. Bloody thing. There are so many different. There's this one as well, which I like. So as you can see, it's not great. I'll have to mess about with the lighting, but this is one of the studio modes that I've got. Let me see if I can change that. Actually, make it a little bit better while I'm live and get it fixed. Yeah, it's the lighting more than anything I'll have to mess about with. Oh well. Yeah, I've totally screwed it up now. Like I say, you mess about with the settings slightly. Yeah, I've got to mess about with the settings, and I wanted to go live today just to say to everybody I am still here, but this is what I've been working on. I'm really trying to really trying to help. I'm really trying to get the presentation looking better and sounding better. Hopefully the sounds on anyway. For the sounds done. The sound's good rather. I'll get my words out in a bit. Oh, there goes my nose. There you go. That'll have to do for now. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. So if you've been wondering where I am, this is where what I've been doing. Yeah. Turn it all off, just chat. I don't think I can now. Totally fucking messed the settings up now, haven't I? Oh well. So if I stay like that, it's fine. There you go. Hi everyone. There's I've been messing about with this for like 2 or 3 days now. I had the idea about 3 days ago to make the presentation better. And look how terrible it is. I hold my hands up like that. So I've been messing about with these settings for 2 or 3 days. I've got so many videos to do. It's unreal. Did anybody see Chuka Amuna on Peston in the week? Sound is fine, but you've gone seriously ginger. I know. I'll get the colours sorted out over the next over Christmas. I'll get the colour sorted out and the lighting. I've got to put the lighting in the right place. I'll probably have to rig some lights up from the ceiling to get it all done properly. But I'm really happy with the way it looks, and being able to put whatever the hell I want behind me is going to be huge. I can end up once I get good with the software, I should be able to end up looking really professional. So everybody seems to be impressed with it anyway, even though it's a little bit off. Like I say, it's not. This is worse than being censored, he says. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, I need to mess about with the lighting. I'm not going to do it do it now. I've got it about as good as I can get it for the moment. I'll mess about with it over the weekend. Tried not to watch any BBC. Yeah, I don't either. Tuesday time, just what I get on Twitter. Happy Christmas, premature procrastinator, to you as well. Is Chuka Amuna and Chuck Schumer working together? Well, they're both centrists who don't give a damn about their constituents and only care about the money that they get. So yeah, it could be, Darren. Yeah, it's not golden silence. It's the I'll get the lighting sorted. It's like I say, I'm probably looking a bit Trumpian at the moment. But I'm really impressed with it. I really am. Who'd have thought? I mean, this is all free software as well. They just give this away. It's open source. It's definitely the way to go. Open sources. Yeah, Chuka Amuna. The reason I brought him up was I knew he was on Peston. I usually watch the rerun of it, later on in the night time, because I actually like Peston. He's one of the few reporters that actually tells the truth. There's one of the few. He has a very, I call it Pestonese, the way he talks. He'll say Theresa May, Jeremy Corbyn said this, and Theresa May actually tried to argue. What he's saying, what he's actually saying is, can you believe the nerve on this? And I think this is one of the reasons why him and the PBC parted ways. I certainly think that would be an issue with it. And he had Chuka Amuna on for the entire programme. And I sat there and I thought, right, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch it. And just as I do with Laura Kunsberg and everybody else, I thought I'm going to listen to him in his own words and listen to what he says. And, go based on what he says, not on the fact that, people hate him and I can't stand the guy. I thought I'd give him a chance. He didn't say a damn thing I agreed with. Not a damn thing. And at one stage he was asked a direct question and you can see that he just lied. The answer because there's no way, the answer he gave, I want to do a segment on it, because the answer he gave, either there's one or two things are true. Either A, he's a lying bastard, or B, he doesn't have a fucking clue what he's talking about. One of those two things had to be true with it. And surprise, surprise, it was about him pushing, Jeremy Corbyn to go for this meaningful vote. He's doing it all for personal reasons, He's doing it all for personal reasons. Nothing is... God, this is really messed up. Nothing is for the the party itself or for the people. It's all for his own ends. Like I say, I'm going to put a video. I don't want to come down on him too much because I don't want it to feel like I'm just jumping. But he's got to go, man. He's just got to go. He doesn't stand for anything that the Labour Party stand for. And he doesn't stand for anything that supporters of Jeremy Corbyn will actually support. So why is he in the Labour Party? I don't, you can extend that to 100 different people. But he keeps putting himself out there, and if he keeps putting himself out there, I'm going to keep trying to tear him down because the guy's a scumbag as far as I'm concerned. Speaking of your setup, any reason why the frame rate in your videos are so low when you move? It's always been choppy. Is it your camera? Yes, it's the camera. That camera. I originally had a camera that I think that cost £77. No, when I first started the channel, I was using this. I was using my mobile phone. And that's the way I would record the videos, and then I would put it in software and edit it and add all the bits onto it. It was a ball ache. So when I got OBS, I got a camera, and it was literally just a £25 thing from Amazon. Somebody sent me some. I think two people sent me like £25 and £15 on PayPal. So I had about £40 when I first started, and I thought I'll invest it. So I put £25 in a camera, and I spent £15 on that city backdrop that I usually I used to have. That's actually underneath that green screen now, and that was great. It served me so much, but it's only a 30 frames per second camera. I need a 60 frames per second camera, and then it won't be so choppy, and also it's going to be much better for lighting. That's because it's just a cheap webcam. That's all it is. So if I can get a better camera, however, I'm not going to upgrade to a £50, £60 one. The one I'm looking at is like £170, £180. So I'm just going to save up and get that in the new year. Hopefully, with you guys' help, get it in the new year. And I mean, as you can see at the moment, from what I'm looking at, it doesn't look too bad. I'm looking a little bit orange, but I can easily change that. Oops. There you go. I'm a bit brighter. How on earth isn't Galloway back in the Labour Party, says Darren? You know what, Darren? Good point. How is he banned from the Labour Party? The war criminal Tony Blair is still there. That's why I won't join. One of the reasons, anyway. Yeah, 60 frames per second at least. The Golden Science. That's what it is. It's 60 frames per second, but it's a proper high quality webcam. I think I've got it somewhere. I think I've got it saved. The one I want. It's so expensive. The gear is, Yeah, it's a Logitech. Brio is what it is. Apparently they're the best ones. But I mean that one is for what that camera for what it was. I mean it was like £25. In fact, I don't think it was even £25. I think it was £20. So I mean that camera that's a viewer that's bought that. That's a viewer that's bought that with donations. I do try and invest, back into. Wow, the visuals on this is actually pretty good now. I don't get it. Well, Chucker or Moona in. Crawford says lying bastard or no fucking clue. With Chucker, it's both. I don't think he's stupid. You see, that's the thing. I don't think he's stupid. I don't think he. I don't. I think it's Machiavellian of him. I think he's Machiavellian, and that's. I don't like it. I've just had some frames drop. I know that. That $30 camera, it was a great little camera. I mean, it's done me for 10 months, 9 months or so. So yeah, it's fantastic. But I'm really liking at the moment this setup. I can sort out these little bits here. But like I say, it's lighting now, lighting and a camera, and we'll have everything looking crisp and professional. Sean Calder says he had a chat with George Galloway on Talk Radio the other night. What a dude. He's amazing. He really is. He's an amazing man. I don't agree with him on everything. I'm sure there are a few things I disagree with him on, but it's funny to me how those people who have been historically right going back over the last 10, 20 years, especially with, discussions of war and foreign policy, they're always on the outside. See, these are the people that have been right for 20, 30 years. These are the people that we should be listening to. But they're not. What they're doing is keeping these voices on the outside, like George Galloway, and flinging mud at them. And, the outlet that he is allowed on, RT America, the only outlet, the TV outlet that will have RT UK, now they're going after RT UK, and lo and behold, that was one of the videos I want to do. It turns out that RT UK, who are being investigated for allegations of bias. Do you know where these allegations came from? That's right. Yeah, some of these allegations are coming from the Integrity Initiative. So as you can see, it's all come full circle. I was really looking forward to doing that video, but like I say, I'm such a dumbass with regards to. I mean, I'm not bad with technology, especially for my age, I don't think, but I could be a lot, but I'm not an MIT guy. I'm not great with technical stuff, but I'm not the worst. But I don't think I've done a bad job of this so far, considering I'm a fucking Neanderthal when it comes to these things. No, it's not red colour from lights bouncing off my shirt, mate. It's all the filters that you have to put in to get the. What I need is lighting. If I can light that up evenly with one light, that's it. All the problems go away. Then it's just about lighting my face, which you can do with a couple of lamps. But I've got to get that even first, because if I get that even, you won't get any of that fuzz around my hand. I'll be able to sharpen everything up perfectly, and I mean it'll look as professional as it does on on TV when they do it. I mean this is basically how the BBC and Sky do it. It's just basically a green screen, light the green up in an even colour and filter that colour out. But you've got to light it up perfectly even for it to work. Otherwise, you've got to stretch and Anyway, I won't go into it. It's fucking about with stupid little settings, and it does make you want to pull your hair out, especially when you get things almost perfect and then you press a button and it goes all shit again. It's great to agree, but it's even better to have friends and admire people where you can debate or have differing views, says Darren Alava. You know what? I miss that. I miss that. I miss, the times when people used to talk to each other and actually have conversations. They tend to just shout at each other over social media now. It does make you wonder whether, where we're heading. It makes you wonder where we're heading. You've got people spending their whole lives like that. At the dinner table. I mean, the last job I had, we went out for Christmas, and there was about 20 of us went out for Christmas dinner, and we went out for a steak, and I sat there, and about 14 of the 20 of the people around the table when we sat down were staring at their phones. I made them put it in a basket. I took bread out the basket, put the basket in the middle, and said, "Put all your phones in there." Spending their whole life buried in it. Yes, very good. Yeah, I've got to like myself evenly. At the moment, I'm having to use everything to try and get everything even, and I'm sort of putting like that. Don't move. Do you remember when you used to mess around with the aerial when you were a kid to try and get the it's sort of like that. But I'll get there. It doesn't look too bad at the moment. These drop pixels go away when I put my hand there like magic. You have 140 people watching your test setup. 140 people watching my test setup. That's amazing. Oh, Lorums, you've made an amazing channel. Please stop beating yourself into the ground. Oh, I am too hard on myself sometimes. Lorums. People do say that a lot. Chris Foster, mainstream media look professional, but all propaganda is shite. You're an amateur talking truth. Don't worry about how good you look. We aren't here for production values. No, you're not. And obviously, what I say is most important. But the presentation means a hell of a lot. It really does. Especially if you just read the comments, and you can see a lot of people complain, especially about the audio, which hopefully, like I say now, is much better. But also the picture quality as well, and hopefully, so if I can get the settings right and the lighting right, then production wise it's going to look perfect. And there's just some amazing stuff I can do with it. There really is. It's some amazing stuff I can do with it. I love this. Merry Christmas. I just love it. And I am honestly, I'm like a child with a toy at Christmas. I'm like a child with a toy at Christmas. You know what they say with boys and their toys? I've been messing about with it, trying to get it perfect for the last 2 or 3 days. I'll get there in the end. It's bad now. Comedian Rick Overton, this is B Green saying this. Comedian Rick Overton has been questioning the MSM mainstream media's Syria narrative today. Suddenly every liberal cares passionately about the Kurds. They still don't care about Yemen. Oh, fucking, I tell you. It's pissed me off, that has. It really has. Because all of a sudden, people haven't given a flying fuck about Afghanistan. They haven't given a flying fuck about Afghanistan and for, however many years. They couldn't give a shit about it. Media hardly ever talk about it. They're bombing Afghanistan more than they have done in the last 6 years. Now they're bombing them more than they ever have done. And he goes to pull out, and then all of a sudden, and he says, I'm going to pull out from Syria. And all of a sudden, every single liberal talking head and every single person on Twitter and on the news, all of a sudden is a fucking expert on the Kurds and the Taliban. All of a sudden, they're all an expert. None of them have a fucking clue. They're just repeating whatever Rachel Maddow told them that night. It's insane. That is another video I wanted to do. I'm trying to get in touch with Kevork Almassian of Syriana analysis, because I want to have a chat with him, because I watched his video and he actually thinks that it's not going to be as bad as people think. They think that the Turks are going to roll over the Kurds. Now, America apparently have been in there training 30,000. That's what they said, that their role was there, to train a 30,000 fighting force. So they've trained a 30,000 fighting force of Kurds. Then they've given Turkey a $3.8 billion weapons contract. And now they're going to put them in the middle and go, yell, fight! Like Harry Hill used to on his program. It's not as cut and dry as that. There are so many different, moving factors, and he doesn't think that it's going to be that big a deal. He doesn't think that the Turks and the Kurds are going to end up fighting. Does Kevork? At least that's what I got from his video. Anyway, I'm hoping I didn't interpret it wrong. But yeah, he's all of a sudden all of them, none of them gave a fuck about Syria or Afghanistan. They haven't for years. And then all of a sudden, they're all bloody experts. Pathetic, it really is. Yeah, I know. I understand that, I shouldn't worry about the quality as much, but I do. If I want to be taken serious, then I want the quality at least to be perfect. And like I say, if I can get this lighting right, it's going to look perfect, and I can do with the screen whatever I want to then. And if I can do that, I mean, I can switch over to anything let's fit that screen. So so that's one scene. This is another scene that I've got other little things in I can do, and then I can go over to the monitor as well. So let's move the city background down. Oops. There you go. So then, obviously, if you want to see a photo, I can bring up. This is one of the. This is whatever I got loaded into the system last night. So I can do this, and I don't think anybody's going to be complaining about the quality of the presentation anytime soon. Put it that way. Not once I've got these settings correct. The Kurds are abandoned every time we're in that region, going back to the Gulf War One. So what's new, Nick? This is a good point as well. I mean, the Kurds have welcomed the Americans in there, but do you never learn? They stab you in the back all the time. How many times is this they've done it now? In 100 years, Marco Kraguliak. I'll mark out. That's my attempt at your name. My apologies if I just butchered it. In 100 years, people might see this and say, after 50 years staring at the tube, people got their own tube, and one of them, Gordon Dimmack, decides to play with it and to change the world. Wouldn't that be a nice? Isn't that a nice thought? The problem is that after 17 years, there are still Afghanistans in Afghanistan, says Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, and all these people on Twitter, if they're saying, oh, we've got to get out of here and we've got to get out of there, we need to, the Kurds, and we need to stop in Syria. Well, the way to shut them the hell up is to just ask them a simple question: what's your end game here? What do you continue? What do you suggest we do? And once we've won, what's your suggestion for afterwards? Is it for another failed state and open slave markets like Libya? And as soon as you ask them those questions, they just go away. They disappear because they have no answer to those questions. And this is what people like me have been saying all along. You've been doing this time after time after time, and it's never worked. One of my favourite sayings is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And this is exactly what they're doing. They're expecting different results and doing exactly the same bloody thing. They'll never learn. But then, they don't even know what winning is. Let alone, they don't even know what does winning mean. They don't know, and they've definitely got no plan for what happens after they've won. In other words, it's a fucking useless thing to be there. So get the hell out. The Kurds should re-establish their alliance with Assad, says Darren Alavi. See, this is something that could happen. This is something that could happen. They could form an alliance with the Kurds. After all, the Kurds are they're in Syria. It is something that could happen. There's all sorts. I said on Twitter the other day the problem. It's true. This is the problem with withdrawing from Syria and withdrawing half the troops from Afghanistan, and hopefully the other half the troops, is there's a very real danger that peace might break out, and that's the problem that they've got. 14,000 troops in Afghanistan. How many Americans do you think know that there are 14,000 troops in Afghanistan? 17 years. That is the longest war America has ever been in history. They've never been in a longer war than that. Never. 17 years. They don't know what winning is. They've got no plan to do it, and they've got no plan to plan for what to do afterwards when they do whatever it is that they need to do to win. So what are they doing there? Answer: getting in the way of getting in the way of progress, because the Taliban have said that they will happily have a peace, but as long as there are no foreign troops on the ground in Afghanistan. So maybe get the fuck out. You got your poppy fields. That's what you really need and what you're really protecting. Let's face it. Look. If you look at the poppy production, I mean, when they went into Afghanistan, the poppy production was actually at the lowest that it's ever been, because it was under ISIS control or Al Qaeda control or whatever it was, and they're dead set against opium and drugs, so it was down to zero, and now it's the biggest. Americans have gone in. It's the largest producer of opium in the world. It's GlaxoSmithKline and Bayer, whatever. I've forgotten what that drug company's name is now. Bayer Leverkusen. Now, these drug companies need to get their opium from somewhere to put in their opiates. There's a good chance that they get a lot of them from Afghanistan. If you talk about Kurds, got to get it right, says two's time. I mean, one of the reasons why I bring up Kevok is he's in Syria, you know. He's on the ground. He knows what's going on. And he's the one. He's one of the people who's been right about what's going to happen and what is happening on Syria over the last year. So that's who you go to for your information. So for my because he's a trusty source that I know I can go to get accurate information and quality analysis of a situation in Syria, that's where I go. You know, you go to other people. You go to people like Eva Bartlett, who's in Syria. I think she's in Syria at the moment, although she might be in Jordan or one of the surrounding countries. Or, you know, somebody like Vanessa Beeley. People who go on the ground, who have been there on the ground, who know what's going on. If you get your information from Rachel Maddow or any of the talking heads on TV, you might as well just be getting it straight from the CIA or GCHQ. They're telling you what the establishment want you to know, not what the truth is. Bayer. Yeah, it was Bayer. They bought somebody out, didn't they? I've forgotten who they bought out now. Has Gordon covered Corbyn's most recent comments on Brexit yet? No, I haven't, Jamie, and I won't be doing any more videos until tomorrow now, till tomorrow afternoon. I've got to go out and do a little bit of shopping in the morning. Buy a pharmaceutical, somebody's just said, yes, that's who it is. So I've been messing about with these settings for the last 2 or 3 days, just trying to get it right. I've almost got it perfect now. I should be able to, and this is obviously live streaming as well, remember everyone. You know, this is live streaming through Streamlabs. When I actually use the standalone OBS software without streaming, the quality is going to be much better. I mean, these are just settings that I've copied over from there. So, yeah, this is what I've been doing. And if I can get the settings perfect, then I'll start recording some more videos and I'll release those over Christmas, because I can't imagine that many people will be releasing videos over Christmas. So if anybody does want, you know, anything to watch, then I'll be dropping a few videos over in the next 3 or 4 days. Eva is in Syria, says Lawrence. I knew she was somewhere, because whenever she is anywhere, you don't hear much from her, because unlike young girls who do the bidding of Western media, shall we say, when you're actually on the ground in Syria in these places, you don't have a regular internet connection. And obviously it can be quite dangerous, so you've got to be careful telling people exactly where you are. He podcasts from Germany, not Syria, so it's truly progressive. Okay, but I mean, he knows the situation obviously in Syria. He knows, he knows his stuff. I didn't realise he was from Germany. I thought he was in Syria. Thank you for that, truly progressive. I didn't realise. You're the first one to mention why the Bush drug cartel actually invaded Afghanistan. Thanks for bringing it up. No problem, David. It's something that people often forget. That, people often forget. Thank you, Swami. I haven't set these widgets up, so it comes up what the who said do it, so it comes up on the screen. I'll do that. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all your support this year. I really want to. I know I talk about it a lot, but it's Christmas. Just thanks for it. Just thank you. I honestly feel as if I found my calling. I feel as if I'm good at this. I feel as if I enjoy doing it, and I do. And I feel as if I'm getting better. And with your support and with your help, we can change something here. We can help change, because the media is fucked. The UK and the UK and the US media. I don't make as big a deal out of it I know I make a big deal out of it, but I should be running around with my hair on fire. I should be screaming into the camera and yelling fuck, 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 fuck as much as I possibly can. Because they really have, the fourth estate really is the fifth column now. There is no fourth estate. There is no media holding government accountable. There is none. The only media holding government accountable at the moment hasn't got access. But obviously that's the way it works. I'm sure you've seen and read manufacturing consent. But this will change. It will change. You look at The Guardian. The Guardian is just GCHQ's mouthpiece. That's it. That's all it is. GCHQ's mouthpiece and a place for the liberals to go about, talking about social justice warrior shit. Trying to ban similes. You can't ban similes, you fucking idiot. Stop it. Oh, he said he compared them to a letterbox. So fucking what? People can wear whatever they like, but if they wear something stupid, it's our rights to take the piss out of them. It's simple as that. We are English. Taking the piss is in our DNA. You can't ban similes, which is essentially what The Guardian and Owen Jones, who I agree with on basically everything else, apart from, this one thing. You can't go around doing that, because they're just going to turn it round on you. They're going to turn it round on you, and you're going to end up being the one who's silenced because of it. But they won't listen. Ragnarok Ishar says, "Hey Gordon, have you noticed that on your monetized vids, some of the adverts are 6 minutes long? Is this another form of censorship?" No, it's just a long advert. And if you watch it all, I think we get a decent amount on that. It's all advertising. It's all advertising shit, though, isn't it? I mean, I'm just glad that the advertisements are playing on some of my videos, to be honest, because obviously for the first 6 or 7 months they didn't, and that was bloody difficult. And it's not a massive amount of money you get, but it every bit helps when you're on your ass. Wensler says Sargon did get his just deserves, though. Listen, we can't cheer on. We can't cheer on, people getting silenced, especially people who. What he said was taken out of context. Now, I wouldn't have said what he said, just simply because there are certain words. The best thing to do is not say them. That's the best thing to do, because I've found that, you know what, there are other ways of saying it without saying the N word or the C word or blah 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 blah. Although I do reserve the C word for some certain people, like Jeremy Hunt, but just don't say them. Just don't say them and you won't get into trouble. Now, there are times when, but it's the context that you have to look at. Shit, did George Carlin teach us nothing? And the context that what he said, I wouldn't have said what he said, because, you're begging for them to take it out of you're begging for trouble. Is the point of it. But this is one of the reasons why Sargon has got as big as he has got. He does push the envelope and push the boundaries. He does. I don't know him well enough to say whether he believes in what he does or whether he's, somebody who's just doing it for clicks or whatever. I don't know. I suspect he's not. I suspect he does believe what he's doing, but then he's changed his position on things. I don't know. All I know is, you can't ban people for taking words out of context, because you'll get what you deserve. And um, I had, I've had probably a dozen patrons email me saying, "Is there another way we can send you money?" And this is one of the reasons why I set up the Bitcoin account, so people could do it without going through PayPal or Patreon or whatever. Um, there are other ways we'll get around it. I'm just hoping that when they come for me, I'll be big enough that I'll be able to, take an audience with me wherever I go. They'll come after me sooner or later, though. Teacher Amos says, about a month ago, Gordon was getting about 150 new subscribers a day. What happened? What's YouTube up to? It's nothing to do with YouTube, I don't think, Teach. I just I had a couple of videos that got a lot of views. And I picked up a load of it happens like that sometimes. You hit the right thing, and um, the stars align with the algorithm, and you start getting lots and lots of views on the video. That's what happened. Um, you put out the videos, and some get lots of views, and others don't. It's just the way it goes. But they are, making it as hard as they possibly can for them. But in this instance, it was just that I had some videos go viral, and I picked up a lot of subscribers in about a 7 to 10 day period last month. Domino Levy, Jimmy Dore wants to come to the UK, but he needs people to show him around. I think he's coming either this year in 2019 or 2020. He needs info on good comedy places. I don't know. Ron asked me before he came over to the UK. He asked me, and I'm like, I didn't have a clue. I haven't got a clue, mate. I'm not a comedian. I don't know. There was it is probably better people you could ask to show him around. I mean, George Galloway, he does stuff with Ken Livingstone, doesn't he? He does all sorts of town halls and whatever up in Liverpool. Yeah, I know a lot, so I'm sure Jimmy will get in touch with George. He'll probably do some sort of talks with George, but I would have thought. GordonOnMinds.com. I am on Minds. Yes, I am on Minds. I'm just, I don't say much over there. I just put a link to whatever video that I've launched, but I'll keep putting stuff on there. It's just it's not a big deal to put a link on there. Uploading and doing all that sort of thing was a pain in the arse with DTube and Steemit, because Steemit haven't got their shit in order, and to upload a video sometimes took you hours. You would get errors all over the place for some reason, and they wouldn't explain why. And it was just a nightmare to try and upload to the platform, so I stopped doing it. But I'll just put a link through to the videos on Minds. Sorry, to the YouTube videos on Minds. That's what I have been doing anyway. We need to do a party meeting of the crew for Jimmy Dore Show live when Jimmy comes over. Whenever, if he comes to I've said before, if he comes to the UK, I'll drag my genitals through 5 miles of broken glass to go and watch him. Keith Durant says, if you are calling for violence against other people, you should be censored. Otherwise, you have a right to voice your opinion in the public square. And this is currently, yeah, I agree, Keith. I also agree that if you are calling for violence, or if you have broken the rules in any way, they should be a clear and transparent process and appeals process. And at the moment, there isn't. It'll all change when Corbyn comes in. Why is this screen suddenly... The BBC is a good comedy club. Yes, it is print me up. It's not meant to be. The progressive comedy crowd should get Jimmy some work in the UK. Frankie and company, says Wensley. If Jimmy came over to the UK, he'd sell out work. I mean, you know, honestly, I think I think he needs to look at a bigger place. I think he needs to look at, you know, somewhere with like 1,000 people. But it's just me. He could fill it over in the UK. He could fill it. 1,000 people, no problem. Upload more to Minds and boost your channel and content says propaganda. I am doing every video I do. I'm sticking it on Minds as well. Is there going to be a story? No, Garland and Golden Science. As I said at the beginning, I've got like 7 stories that I've got lined up to do, but I've been spending all my time doing all this stuff, and as you can see, I've not got it perfect yet. So until I get it perfect, I won't be doing another video. I'll sort the settings out. I'll record those hopefully tomorrow. So you know, there'll be some videos being released over the Christmas period, and I'll be back in on Thursday, I think, to do some more. But no, there won't be any stories tonight. I just haven't had a chance to put one together. Although I've got lots to want to talk about. Lots and lots. Look at Lee Camp on Minds. I am following him on Minds propaganda. He gets better views than his Facebook. That doesn't surprise me. He's throttled to hell on Facebook. The UK Christmas call into the screen. Go on, you will. No. I might do it in the new year. I might do a New Year one. What's people have been after me to do a... I might. I might. I might do a New Year one. We'll see. We'll see. People have asked me a few times to do a call-in thing. GK1MPO says G Kimpo. I saw a Frenchman. Police officers holding a gun up to the protesters. Is it true they have handguns? I don't know. I think so. I think they have an armed response units, don't they? Or do they in France? I've never been to France, so I don't know. I don't know whether the gendarmes are armed. They could be. I know the ones in Portugal are. Whenever I went to Portugal, they did. Hey Gordon, says Mohammed Manir. Do you think Jeremy Corbyn will be in power in early 2019? I think he will be. I think there will be a general election very soon. I think it's the only way we're going to stop doing that. I think it's the only way we're going to fix what the problem that we're in at the moment, because we're in the middle of a constitutional crisis. Let's face it. It's a constitutional crisis we're in, which is why Jeremy Corbyn was right the other day when he said stupid people, when they, you know, a stupid woman was literally conducting a pretend fucking pantomime in the Houses of Parliament not 2 weeks after her own government was found in contempt of Parliament. That's the first time in history it's ever happened, and there she is conducting a literal pantomime, and somehow Jeremy Corbyn saying stupid something under his breath is more of a fucking deal than the complete fiasco that they did. I mean, let's face it. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Laura Kunsberg got an email from the morning to say, Laura, it's the last day before we break up. You know what? We've had a disaster. Can you just find something, just anything today, to take the focus off us? Yes, ma'am. And Laura Kunsberg, there she was. She found the clip, jumped out of a chair. Woo! What did he say? What did he say? She said, and that was it. For the next 24 hours, that's all there was on the news. We're facing a fucking constitutional crisis, and you're talking about Jeremy Corbyn saying stupid something under his breath. If that's not, if that's not fucking covering up for what's really important and trying to take the focus off what's really important, I don't know what is. But that's what they do. And this is why people know it's bullshit, because it's fucking obvious. And yet the BBC and the ITV and the Channel 4, they haven't got the balls to come out and say this shit. Well, maybe the Channel 4 have, which is why Theresa May doesn't do interviews with them anymore. Everybody's pressing 1, because please press 1 if you think Theresa May is a stupid woman. 1. I don't know anything about the Fabian Society, Regal Johnston. I don't know. Fabian Society. I'll have a look. See what Half the time people ask me about these things and I say I don't know, and then when I look at it, I know what that is. That's so and so, and I just know it under a different name. Covert White Rabbit. I think she asked the BBC to do this, he says. She's a stupid woman and the BBC are stupid people. But we're not allowed to say it out loud. You can see that was fucking orchestrated. You can just see it. They made an absolute mountain out of a molehill, as my old granny used to say. They made a mountain out of a molehill. He didn't even say what they were fucking alleging that he was saying. It might have looked like it, but he didn't say it. And even if he did, so what? She's a stupid woman. And he wasn't addressing the Houses of Parliament either. It's not like he was sitting at the dispatch box or he was standing at the time. He wasn't addressing It was a nonsense. It was all deflection. Deflection away from what? Deflection away from the government being held in contempt of Parliament for the first time ever, because we are facing a constitutional crisis of the Tories' own doing. Let's remember this. They keep on pointing the finger at Jeremy Corbyn going, what would you do? Jeremy Corbyn didn't get us in this fucking mess. That was David Twatty Cameron. I could go on. So what was he meant to call? What was he meant to call her? A stupid man? If she's stupid and she's a woman, she's a stupid woman. Saying she's a stupid woman is not misogynist. It's factually correct. But this is the sort of crap, and that was the other thing about that. That's the thing to remember, that they complain that people on the left do all the fucking time. They complain about it all the time, and here they are doing exactly the same thing. Needs must, eh? Twatty Cameron is totally going to become a meme. Covert White Rabbit, cool. David Twatty Cameron, that's what I'm calling him from this point onwards. You know how war criminal Tony Blair, how I don't ever say Tony Blair without war criminal first? I'm never going to say David Cameron without David Twatty Cameron, without Twatty being in between it. It's got to be done. Because it fits. He's a twat. Okay. Right then, I just wanted to say, this is what I've been doing, everyone. You can see, actually, I've been messing about the settings as I've been talking, and you can see it's actually looking better already. So, I wanted to say a big thank you for all your help this year. Big thank you for all your support. And as you can see, audio and visual should be on a different level come after Christmas, and we can go forward and take it to the bastards, because like I say, I should be running around with my hair on fire. There is no fourth estate, and that is serious. It's a serious, serious problem, and people have got to stand up. You know what was it, Robbie? Who was it that said it? Edmund Burke. All that is needed for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. Well, at the moment, the media are doing nothing with regards to what has happened. The media are doing nothing with regards to this co-op, this overtaking of the media by the state. It's happened all over, and by the oligarchy. And we've got to stand up, and we've got to shine a light on things that are important, that the media don't want to touch. Things like the Integrity Initiative, things like the Atlantic Council, DFR Labs, you know, the National Endowment for Democracy. These are the things that are important, and these are the things that are going to bring down governments, and these are the things that are going to lead to a progressive future and a better future where people actually do things for us rather than for their own means. That's the plan anyway. Thank you, Rusty Bike. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you all. And on that note, I shall change the background to a nice Christmassy one and say thank you very much, everybody. I love you all. Merry Christmas, everybody. Peace. Take care. I'm fucking loving this. Honestly, I am like a kid at Christmas. I suppose I am, really. Take care, everyone. Love you.